Suárez fires. Pop fly. Right field. Segura's out. Castellanos on. And the Philadelphia Phillies. Dinola. Suárez fires. Pop fly. Right field. Segura's out. Castellanos on. And the Philadelphia Phillies are going to the World Series.
For weeks, the tension had been building quietly, almost painfully, around the Boston Red Sox. Fans watched as one free agent after another came off the board. Rival teams moved aggressively. Rumors swirled. Expectations grew heavier by the day. And in Boston, a familiar frustration settled in. That uneasy feeling that the offseason was slipping away while the front office remained silent. It wasn't just impatience, it was fear. Fear that the Red Sox were once again going to sit on their hands while the rest of the league reshaped itself. Then, without warning, the silence broke. Late reports confirmed what many around baseball initially struggled to believe. The Boston Red Sox had finally struck. Not with a marginal signing, not with a depth piece, but with a move that immediately altered the perception of their offseason and sent a ripple through the league. Ranger Suárez, one of the most reliable and battle-tested left-handed starters in baseball, was headed to Boston on a 5-year, $130 million deal. It was the first free agent the Red Sox had signed this season, and it landed with the weight of a statement. This was not a minor correction, this was a declaration. For a fan base that had grown restless, angry even, the timing felt deliberate. For a front office under scrutiny, the move felt necessary. And for the rest of Major League Baseball, it raised an unavoidable question. Had the Red Sox just stolen one of the most valuable arms on the market while everyone else was looking elsewhere? According to multiple reports, including confirmation from Jeff Passan, the deal came together decisively. 5 years, $130 million. No ambiguity, no drawn-out saga. Boston identified its target, committed fully, and closed the deal. In doing so, they not only secured a frontline starter, but also reshaped the narrative of their entire offseason in a single move. The significance of Ranger Suárez joining the Red Sox goes far beyond the headline. At 30 years old, entering his age 31 season, Suárez arrives at a point in his career where reliability meets experience. He is not a flash-in-the-pan arm. He is not built on raw velocity alone. He is a pitcher who understands how to navigate lineups, how to adjust mid-game, and how to survive when the pressure intensifies, especially in October. Last season, Suárez logged 157.1 innings, posting a 12-8 record with a 3.2 ERA and a 1.22 WHIP. He allowed just 14 home runs across those innings, struck out 151 batters, and consistently limited damage. These are not empty numbers. His hits per 9 innings sat at 8.8, a mark that underscores his ability to manage contact and induce weak balls in play. They reflect a pitcher who knows how to win games, even without overpowering hitters. Perhaps most importantly for Boston, Suárez brings postseason credibility. His track record in October with Philadelphia revealed a pitcher who doesn't shrink when the stage gets bigger. In several playoff appearances, his velocity ticked up, his command sharpened, and his presence on the mound became more assertive. For a Red Sox team that leaned heavily on Garrett Crochet in critical moments last postseason, often to its detriment, that experience matters immensely. With Suárez now in the fold, Boston's rotation suddenly transforms from promising to downright intimidating. Garrett Crochet sits atop the staff, an ace with swing-and-miss stuff capable of dominating any lineup on any night. Sonny Gray brings veteran stability and consistency. Ranger Suárez slots seamlessly into that mix, giving Boston a trio that can match up with nearly any rotation in the American League. Behind them, Brian Bello continues to develop, while Johan Oviedo offers additional depth and upside. Beyond the projected starters, the depth chart becomes equally compelling. Tanner Houck and Cutter Crawford are expected back, each capable of pushing for significant roles. Young arms like Connolly Early and Peyton Tolle are waiting in the wings. Suddenly, competition is no longer theoretical. It is real. Spots will have to be earned. Innings will have to be justified. This is precisely why the Suárez signing resonates so strongly. It signals a philosophical shift. For years, the Red Sox have struggled to balance youth development with veteran investment. Too often, the rotation relied on hope rather than certainty. Suárez changes that equation. He does not rely on maximum effort velocity. He relies on movement, sequencing, and command, traits that age far more gracefully. His pitch mix tells the story. Nearly 30% sinkers, a devastating changeup, a cutter, a curveball, and limited reliance on the four-seam fastball. This is a pitcher built to generate ground balls, limit hard contact, and survive deep into games. He is not chasing strikeouts at the expense of efficiency. He is chasing outs. Boston's internal data undoubtedly played a role here, and for a Red Sox bullpen that has endured heavy workloads in recent seasons, that matters. Fenway Park rewards pitchers who keep the ball down and out of the air. Suárez's profile aligns perfectly. His ability to induce ground balls and avoid home runs addresses one of the team's most persistent vulnerabilities. He does not need to throw 100 miles per hour to be effective. He needs hitters to make mistakes, and historically they have. The contract itself raised eyebrows across the league. 5 years and $130 million is a serious commitment, especially for a pitcher entering his 30s. But context matters. The Red Sox roster skews young. Their core position players are still years away from free agency. Boston can afford to anchor its rotation with a veteran whose skill set projects well over the life of the deal. In many ways, this contract reflects confidence rather than risk. What also stands out is what this move suggests about Boston's broader plan. This was not a panic signing. It was targeted, strategic, intentional. The Red Sox did not wait until desperation set in. They waited for the right opportunity, and when it appeared, they acted decisively. That decisiveness matters, especially after a prolonged period of inaction that tested fan patience. The reaction among Red Sox supporters has been telling: relief, excitement, validation. For many, this was the first sign that the front office understood the urgency of the moment, that they recognized the need not just to talk about contention, but to invest in it. Yet, even with this move, the job is not finished. Inside the organization, the understanding remains clear. Pitching alone will not carry this team through October. The offense still needs reinforcement. A right-handed power bat remains a priority. Fenway Park rewards hitters who can drive the ball with authority, particularly from the right side. The names Alex Bregman and Bo Bichette continue to circulate, and the Suárez signing only intensifies speculation about what comes next. From a competitive standpoint, the American League East remains unforgiving. Toronto looms as the most significant threat. The Yankees are always capable of retooling quickly. Baltimore's young core continues to mature. Tampa Bay, even when counted out, finds ways to win. Boston cannot afford half measures. They need depth, they need balance, and they need momentum. Signing Ranger Suárez provided that momentum. It also sent a message beyond Boston. To players around the league, it signaled that the Red Sox are willing to commit. To agents, it demonstrated that Boston will not nickel and dime elite talent. And to rival front offices, it served notice that the Red Sox are no longer content to wait and see how the market shakes out. There is also a psychological dimension to this move. For a clubhouse that endured frustration and inconsistency, adding a pitcher of Suárez's caliber changes expectations. It raises standards, it creates accountability. When a team invests at this level, complacency disappears. Every player understands that the goal is no longer incremental improvement. The goal is contention. In October, when games slow down and margins shrink, pitching depth becomes everything. Boston learned that lesson the hard way. Leaning on one arm is not a strategy. It is a gamble. Suárez gives the Red Sox another weapon capable of shouldering pressure, another arm capable of delivering 6 or 7 quality innings when it matters most. That reality reshapes projections. Analysts who once penciled Boston into the middle of the pack are now revisiting their assumptions. A rotation anchored by Crochet, Gray, and Suárez is not easily dismissed. It forces opponents to adjust. It forces expectations upward. And perhaps that is the most important outcome of all. This signing restored belief. Belief that the Red Sox understand where they stand. Belief that they recognize the window in front of them. belief that they are willing to act accordingly. Whether this move is remembered as the first domino in a transformative offseason or as the cornerstone of a new era will depend on what follows. But there is no denying its impact. Ranger Suárez is a Red Sox. The rotation is real. The message is clear. Boston is back in the conversation. And for the first time this offseason, it feels like that conversation is only just beginning.